My name is Tony Perry Gillespie. I am the Director of External Affairs for AT&T. It is my pleasure to serve as the chair of this year's event. It is great to see such a large amount of folks here today, both women and men. What a wonderful tribute to our honorees and the YWCA Dayton. Before we begin our program, please turn off all cell phones and pagers. We appreciate your cooperation. At this time, I would like to introduce to some and present to others Reverend Bobby Predmore, chaplain at the Children's Medical Center of Dayton, who will lead us in our invocation. Bobby?
This is the kind of thing that drives people nuts when you mess up their sound system. What a beautiful day, and the opportunity to celebrate women who in so many ways make a difference. And for that, we give thanks. Gail Blank, in her wisdom as a life coach and a person who helps you remove clutter in your life, said one of the things that she uses is called the Michelangelo method. It seems the folklore goes that one of the townsfolk came up, took a look at the new finished completed statue of David and was in awe at its beauty and said to Michelangelo, how did you do this? And he just very quietly said, David was always in the marble. I just cleared away and chipped away everything that was not David. We give thanks for the YWCA, who takes women whose lives have been so cluttered with chaos and pain, and they take the time, both in volunteering and their leadership and vision, to chip away the clutter of life, opening newness and new birth in life for these women and their children. We give thanks for that kind of dedication and vision. We give thanks for these women this day that in their own world have made a difference. They have opened up avenues and networks, allowing other and encouraging others to become and be. And for that we give thanks. And for each of you this day who have supported, been part of the vehicle of this life and living, we give thanks for the challenges that have come to us, the blessings sometimes of chaos, the joy of new doors and avenues. We give thanks. And indeed, we do give thanks for the bread that we are about to break, the meal that we are to share, for the bounties of the earth have given unconditionally for the welfare of us. How can we, in our human living, do any less? Amen.
Thank you and good afternoon. I think, Sharon, you should just stay standing since you stood up for every category. When I was asked to be the honorary chair, I was thrilled because I so support the mission of this organization. And I must say, at the reception, it was an honor to meet many of the honorees for the first time, and some of you I have known. And I was especially thrilled to see Bobby Predmore because she married my husband and myself 16 years ago, and she was so pleased to hear we're still married. However, today's event is much more than a networking lunch. It is an opportunity for each of us to support the YWCA and its mission of eliminating racism and empowering women. The uncertainties of today's economy present a challenge for all nonprofits. And I think a lot of you saw the article in the newspaper about United Way not achieving their goal. We are a United Way agency. Funding sources are diminishing at a time when the need for services is actually increasing. As you can imagine, financial insecurity can bring added stress to shaky relationships. And that, unfortunately, often results in more incidents of domestic violence. The YWCA Dayton operates the only domestic violence shelter in Montgomery County and serves thousands of women and children each year during the most desperate times of their lives. They also partner with Artemis Center to provide 24-hour-a-day domestic hotline. So you see, our support is more critical than ever. Each of you has an envelope that is like this, placed at your place. And I would ask and implore you to consider a gift today. You can leave it at your table, or you can take it with you and contemplate your donation and send it in to the YWCA. Please help continue their very, very important work. Thank you for your attention.
Good morning. I was so caught up in the raffle, I almost missed my cue. Thank you, Kathy. And look at you, my God, just beautiful out there today, and it's very international. But welcome, everyone. The YWCA is the oldest and largest multicultural women's organization in the world. Across the globe, we have more than 25 million members in 122 countries, including 2.6 million members and participants in 300 local associations in the United States. Just a little bit of history, we were in the top 10 who became association members back in the 1800s. More important, however, than the numbers is our mission, eliminating racism and empowering women. We provide safe places for women and girls, build strong women leaders, and advocate for women's issues and civil rights. For close to 139 years, our Dayton YWCA has been supporting women and their families by offering hope, counsel, and shelter during the darkest times of their lives. Our work cannot be completed without community support, which leads me to thanking two very special women, as well as the major sponsors of today's event. We have been so fortunate. Where's Mary and Tony? No, they've moved on me. We're so fortunate to have both Mary Bersalis and Tony Perry Gillespie serve as the chairs of this year's luncheon. Their vision and leadership have played a major role in the success of this wonderful event. Thank you, Tony and Mary. Now for our major sponsors. First and foremost, our longtime presenting sponsor, WDTN TV Channel 2, our empowerment level sponsor, AT&T Ohio, sustaining level, Faruqi, Ireland, and Cox. Our justice level sponsors are CDO Technologies, Sobran Incorporated, Miami Valley and Good Samaritan Hospitals, and Vectran. And as always, the YWCA is proud to partner with the United Way of Dayton. The entire list of generous sponsors has been rolling on the big screen and is in your program book. Please patronize these generous businesses and organizations. We appreciate all they do, not only for the YWCA Dayton, but for the greater Dayton community. We applaud you, all of you. The Women of Influence Awards Luncheon and WDTN's Sharon Howard have almost become synonymous over the years. I believe Sharon has emceed all but the first luncheon. Sharon herself is a previous Woman of Influence and has received the YWCA's Distinguished Ambassador Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one and only Sharon Howard, who will introduce to you the YWCA Dayton Women of Influence Class of 2009. Sharon.
We need to be heard, visible, vocal, and understood. We will because we must reach beyond our grasp. We must rise like a phoenix, for we are vital and vibrant, energetic and eager. We are gray-haired and grateful, for we house volumes of knowledge called common sense. We are the academicians, the scholars, teachers, environmentalists, engineers, socialists, businesswomen. We are the lawyers, doctors, orators, implementors, developers, strategists, thinkers, doers. We are women of substance who keep coming. The question is when, the time is now. The question is where, the place is here. The question is who, the answer is us. Good afternoon. Let me thank Carol for her kind words during her introduction. And don't we have an absolutely awesome dais of women today? We are officially kicking off March Madness right here, right now. In case y'all want to run out, you can't for another hour. Each year, I am inspired by the women of influence. There is no doubt that these women and the women honored in previous years have contributed to making the greater Dayton area the caring community we are known for. I am so happy to see so many companies, organizations, and individuals who are here today to show their support and our honorees each day and each year. I hope that you know how many women and children you are helping by your support of the YWCA. Your financial contributions are enormously needed. 12 years ago, the YWCA established the Women of Influence Awards to honor women who have been a positive influence in the community and shown that individual involvement can make a difference. Today's event is a way for all of us to say thank you for your commitment and dedication. Before I present each honoree today, please take a moment to watch a short video about each woman that will help you understand the real person being honored today. And let's begin with our first honoree, Sister Carol Bauer.
We were encouraged in my family very young, had the example of my parents, and began just volunteering in different ways over the years through school and into high school and beyond that. And I watched that be the example that they gave from the very earliest days. So I guess I never learned not to speak up if I believed that it was the truth and if it made a difference. There are women down through decades now who were incredible about speaking the truth and making a difference at each time and each decade along the way. That's a very different kind of thing. And I think it has a lot to do with that supporting in the face of need, supporting in the face of challenge. I think it's providing example, it's providing opportunity. Those are the kind of things I think that I see the Y being about. I don't believe that we can have a quality of life in the community, that we can see opportunity for everyone if we don't recognize the importance of diversity and that we don't celebrate it, if we don't try to take down those barriers that interfere with the importance of everyone having that opportunity. The image for me is a metaphor of what making a difference can be about, and it's the metaphor of fabric. The strength and beauty of fabric is two things. It's the quality of the thread, and it's the nature of the weave. And I believe in making a difference in the community. The thread is the gifts and the talents and the treasure of each individual in the community. But it's not successful, it doesn't have the beauty of making a difference if it doesn't have the weave, which is our coming together and collaborating, that brings all of our gifts together, that strengthens each one of them and makes a difference for the community.
At the tender age of 16, Carol Bauer made the decision to commit her life to the Catholic religious order of the Sisters of Charity. After several teaching assignments in the Cincinnati Archdiocese, Sister Carol joined the executive team of Good Samaritan Hospital as Vice President of Mission Effectiveness. She was instrumental in establishing the Samaritan Homeless Clinic, which serves thousands of men, women, and children each year. Sister Carol is also a fixture in the volunteer community and has served on several boards, including the AIDS Resource Centers of Ohio, the Catholic Fund for Urban Children and Schools, United Way, the National Conference for Community and Justice, and United Health Solutions. We were told that when Jim Pancoast came on board as president of Good Samaritan Hospital, he had no experience in the religious aspect of the business. He then met Sister Carol, and the two chatted and agreed that he would handle the business side and that she would take care of the spiritual piece. It's been a great partnership ever since. Now, just because Sister Carol is a nun, don't think that she's always cool, calm, and collected. Even she has her limits. We hear that in her first days of teaching a rather boisterous group of 7th graders at St. Albert's in Kettering, Sister Carol had a unique way of restoring order in her classroom. While writing on the blackboard, with her back to the class, she decided that she had had it with the chatter in the back of the room. Without missing a beat, Sister Carol spun around and hurled an eraser field of chalk dust high over the heads of her students, exploding on the metal lockers in the back of the room. Needless to say, order was restored, and there wasn't a peep out of the class for the rest of the period, or probably the rest of the week, because I'm scared of Sister Carol. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the pitcher for the St. Albert the Great All-Stars, Sister Carol Bauer.
Karen, your days are numbered. The infamous Karen Vogue was in that classroom that day. Thank you so much. As I thought about today, I can't help but think about the rich community in talent and generosity of the men and women in this community. And that's why I believe events like this have to make each one of us stop and remember the people who have gifted our lives with their example, their encouragement, and their support. So with that in mind, I'd like to ask two things of you as you leave today. Number one, take a moment to remember the people who have gifted your life that way, and find a way to say thank you. And secondly, can we commit to work together to keep that spirit alive in this community? Can we each take the gifts we have been given and offer it to another and another and another? Because I believe that is the true expression of gratitude for the gifts we have been given. And likewise, it is absolutely a genuine promise of hope for the future of our community. Thank you. God bless.
She's plotting against Carol now. Karen, you look out. Our next woman of influence is probably the most recognized face of all of our honorees today, because she is seen by thousands of television viewers on a daily basis. I am pleased to introduce to you the personal side of WDTN anchor Marsha Bonhart, who is also my colleague.
My mother was extremely active in the Republican Party in Lucas County, Toledo. And I was always seeing her go out to do this and going out to do that and volunteering her time for this and for that. And she loved people. And I think it was just instilled in me subliminally. I don't think she ever pointed her finger at me and said, you need to do this, you need to do that. But I just think that seed was planted, and very much it has been planted in my children as well, except I do point my finger at them and say, this is what you need to do. No matter what you pout about and think that we don't have, there's always someone else who does not have as much as we do. and you have to share whatever it is, money, knowledge, time. I think that the greatest gift that anyone can give is time. You know, to give of yourself, to show someone something, or to tell someone something, or to bring someone with you to see something. People need help. You gotta have that second chance, no matter what. You gotta, and the thing about it is not to always do for them, but to show them how to live better, to show them how to get it together, to show them how to be better at what it is they're trying to do for themselves and for their families. I believe we are placed here to make humankind the best that we can. And individually, we can do little things. You know, there are scores of people in this area right now and across the country losing their jobs. But you know what? It is not terminal. It is not a terminal issue. You will get up tomorrow. It can happen. There will be jobs. You will be able to work one day. And it looks a little shaky right now, and I know that. And I'm fortunate to still have my job, and I know that there are others who sadly don't. But it's not terminal.
Marsha has worked for WDTN Channel 2 since 1988. She has won numerous awards for her work, including an Emmy nomination for her series on crack-addicted babies, as well as the Ohio Public Images Award for producing stories that create a greater understanding of people with developmental disabilities. Marsha also will be inducted into the Dayton Area Broadcasters Hall of Fame later this year. A Toledo native, Marsha is committed to serving her adopted hometown of Dayton. She is a member of the board of directors of the Victoria Theater Association and the Wright State University Foundation. She is also active as a member of the YWCA Dayton's Development Committee, the Greater Dayton Association of Black Journalists, and the Omega Baptist Church. Now, Marsha has been anchoring television news for quite some time. She's totally at ease on camera. Nothing seems to faze her. However, it can be absolutely nerve-wracking to watch her from behind the scenes. Our table knows where I'm going. What her audiences doesn't seem to understand is what our director sees. As soon as the director cues Marsha, she is often still adding eyeliner, powdering her face, applying lip gloss. So far, this consummate professional has not been caught going into a news segment with a mascara wand still in her hand. Please welcome the multitasking makeup artist and news anchor, Marsha Bonhart.
See, Sharon, you have to be careful because I know where you park your car.
Yeah, that's true.
Hello, and thank you so much. I'm humbled. I really am. This is a magnificent organization, and I am just so grateful to be here today and to receive this honor. I also would like to thank my nominators, Chuck Durich and Shannon Lemon, for their clandestine efforts to get information, and thank you to the selection committee. This is, I have some personal gratitude for all of you. Whether you are here because of your corporation or individually, thank you so much for attending today and to certainly help the YWCA with its mission, part of which is eradicating domestic violence. Epidemiology is the study of diseases and is one of the focuses, one of the disciplines in the study of medicine. Epidemiologists study domestic violence because it has become a major health issue. Now, they study the flu as well, but we know how to take care of the flu, either your doctor or the pharmacy. But there are so many women and their families who are beaten and battered psychologically and physically who do not know what to do. When people are physically hurt, emotionally beaten, and ashamed, they think they cannot get any help. The YWCA is the Statue of Liberty for them. It is with the Y, the YW, and your time and the energy coming here today, plus the dollars spent, that will certainly help boost the programs that help people who really need you, the women and children. You're helping them to rebuild their lives. They know that there is a place for them psychologically as well as physically. So I thank you for allowing that to have that opportunity. Thanks.
let's take a moment to honor another Marsha, Marsha Froelich.
You start off working for other people because it makes you feel good. You start off trying to help them because it makes you feel good. At some point, there's a change, and you start doing it because it's the right thing to do and because you care about somebody else. I think it was Maya Angelou who said, people won't remember what you said and they won't remember what you do, but they'll remember how you treated them. So I think that that's what I go by. I want to treat people the way I want to be treated. And I knew from the first time I walked into the YWCA, before I even got hired, that that was the place for me. It's a special place. Go visit, go walk through the door, and from the minute you walk through the door, and if you're lucky enough to have personal contact with some of the women in shelter, they're the true heroes of the YWCA, and that's what it's all about. Pick a place and start, and don't have global visions. If you can help one person, you've changed the world. You know, my favorite quote is Dr. Seuss, who says, if someone like you doesn't care a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. You got to figure out how to get to the end where the dream is and what the steps are to get you there. I think I'm probably a recipe with lots of ingredients. My children have taught me things. People that everybody I come in contact with puts in a little dash of this or a little dash of that, and then before you know it, I'm a half-baked fruitcake.
You knew I was going to leave that in, didn't you? Marsha knows the ins and outs of this luncheon better than almost anyone in this room. As the former vice president for development and marketing at the YWCA Dayton, she and her team were the driving force that helped make this event Dayton's largest lunchtime special occasion. Marsha is currently the executive director of Clothes That Work, a nonprofit organization that provides gently used professional clothing and image consulting to men and women entering the job market. Marsha Froelich has touched lives in our community through her involvement in many activities that stretch far beyond her duties as a nonprofit executive. She has served on the boards of Planned Parenthood, NCCJ, and the Association of Fundraising Professionals. Marsha is also a breast cancer survivor who continues to reach out to others with the disease. She was a founding member of Kettering Medical Center's Ribbon of Hope Society, which supports the hospital's Women's Wellness Fund. On a more personal level, she often mentors other women battling the disease in hopes of helping them voice their concerns and gain strength and courage. Now, Marsha is also an avid collector of shoes. She holds the Triple Lifetime Achievement Award for her purchases in one afternoon at Value City, Stein Mart, and DSW, and will undoubtedly be recognized soon by Clothes That Work. When asked her shoe size, Marsha's response is always, anywhere between a 7 and a 9. I'll make them fit. Please welcome a woman whose giving heart and many accomplishments made her a shoo-in for this award, Marsha Froelich.